Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. Today I have a layout that I am doing some mixed media on. This is not our normal posting day. We normally post Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so this is a bonus video. And I thought I would do something a little bit different because I love these papers and they are beautiful as they are. And I was really tempted to just leave them as they are and work right on top of them. But I'm trying to stretch myself just a little bit and think about different ways I could use the paper without just leaving it as it is, which was, like I said, really hard to do because they are beautiful papers. There is really no need to cut them up, but I'm going to cut it up anyway. So I fussy cut the paper out there and just cut the florals. And I'm liking the way that that's looking. I didn't want to cut all around the florals in the bottom left because I wanted to leave some of the paper intact and bring in some of that teal color. And then I went to my swatch book where I have all of my inks and my sprays all swatched. And I ended up pulling out some broken china and abandoned coral. I was trying to remember what I pulled out. But yeah, it's broken china and abandoned coral, distress oxide ink. And I am just using my blending brushes to go ahead and apply those right onto the paper. The paper is not treated in any manner. It is just close to my heart daisy paper, daisy white. And what I am doing is I'm kind of going based off of what the flower is telling me here. So if it's got like red on the edge, that's where I'm putting the abandoned coral. If it's got that teal color, I'm going to put some of the teal. Now there will be some overlapping areas and I'm not worrying about the green leaves too much. But I am wanting those colors to be in both areas of the two different clusters that I've got going on, and they are going to meet in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on applying this. I don't worry about applying too much underneath where the floral piece is going to be. And in fact, I end up starting out when I first put the blending brush down on the paper, a lot of times I'll put it down right underneath where the paper is going to cover it and then blend outward so that it doesn't have any strong brush marks on it. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And here I'm just trying to mark exactly where the edge of the paper is so that I make sure that I work my way out from there. So all I did there was I start with the paper lined up and then I pull it down like 1/4 of an inch. And then I make my line so that when I put the paper back on, it will cover up the line from my pencil. And you can see I'm not wasting any ink in that bottom left-hand corner. I'm just doing it so that it peeks out from underneath the piece that I fussy cut out, basically. And I don't mind that they meet in the middle. It kind of creates almost a purpley color. If I blended it out even more, it probably would have had a lot more purple, but in this case it didn't have a whole lot. It's just right where the two colors meet. Now the reason I chose those colors, as you can see where it says always new there, that is pretty much the exact colors of my ink. And now I am just spraying some water into my hand and I am dripping it in bigger splotches over my ink to give some added texture. And the reason I sprayed it into my hand is so that my droplets are bigger. If I had just sprayed it directly on the paper, I'd have a lot of fine mist compared to these bigger droplets. And then I am revisiting after looking to see where the fussy cut florals are, to make sure that I got the ink or the water in all of the areas. Now I'm using some Marine Mist Sparkle Spray from Nuvo and some Tender Peach Sparkle Spray from Nuvo. And I am just splattering those in out towards the white area. And there you can see exactly what it is. And you can see the sparkle in the bottle. It's so pretty. It's just really beautiful. And if you missed my video yesterday, I did use the blue or the Marine Mist one. And I mentioned how the sparkle ends up coming off on your hands quite a bit, even once it's dry. So what I've done is I've added some liquid glue like Elmer's, or you could use Nuvo or whatever, to the bottle, and I've shaken it up, and then when it dries, it doesn't come off nearly as much. And it doesn't seem to hinder the spraying either, so it's been a good fix for me. I've done the same thing with the Distress Mica stains, because those ones have been coming off on my hands the first few times I used it. And I was like, okay, I'm either throwing this bottle away, or I'm going to go ahead and try some glue in it and see if it works. And so lo and behold, the glue ended up working. So now I've got some of the rub-on flowers, and I'm trying to figure out where I want them to peek out from. And I'm really liking the way that these look. I do want to add a little bit more of, I think I'm going to add some more of the red, maybe not, or the abandoned coral. So I'm just making sure they're lined up correctly before I start rubbing on them, because once you start rubbing on them, they are stuck. As you can see there, I kind of still had to peel it off just a little bit because they stick pretty quickly, but I wanted to make sure they were peeking out from underneath these other pieces, not just floating out in space. And so I was kind of making sure I got them lined up just right. Let's see, I thought I was going to put some more red there, but I don't, because I ended up moving it, that I'm pretty sure. Honestly, I did this layout last week, so trying to remember. I've done like 4 layouts since then. Okay, yep, I ended up leaving it all the way to the left because I know my photos are probably going to be more centrally located, and I didn't want to cover it up. So that was what helped me make that decision. And now I'm going to go ahead and rub on these other 2 florals. I'm just trying to line it up where I think I want it, in which direction. Rotating the flower just a little bit to get the look that I want. And then I'm going to trim off the excess, because there's no sense in trying to rub that off of my desk, because I'm sure it would get stuck to my desk if I took the backing off. So just save myself a little bit of time. And these rub-ons have the lot of like a little tiny dots of the same colors. It's like almost like it's a mixed media, and there's splatter around them. And so it really adds to the look. And that's what I was rubbing on that last red one there. And it does come with this rub-on tool, this little, it's pointy on one side and flat on the other side. So you can get in the detailed areas, and you have a nice flat section to do bigger areas. So now I'm just trying to figure out where I want my photos in relation to all of this, because I really don't want to cover it up, you guys. It turned out really pretty, a lot prettier than I imagined, and I don't want to mess that up. So I am definitely figuring out what I'm going to do with the photos. In the meantime, I am using the excess paper that I cut off of the other edge, and I am backing my photos with that. And what I end up coming up with is I'm going to end up using the 2 photos with the graphic. And the ones with all of the writing are going to be underneath the piece that says Always New on it. And it's going to be a flip flap, so you'll be able to just flip it open and read all of that information. Now, if you're wondering about the photos, this was an exhibit at the Milwaukee Museum of Art, and it was Jules Cheret, and I'm probably saying that wrong, Julescheret, I believe. And yeah, it's there on the paper. You can see it there, or in the photo. And he was the artist that did the posters for the Moulin Rouge. And he did a whole bunch of other advertisements. And you're going to see more of those, because I have another layout that has a bunch of the other artwork on it. But I definitely wanted to showcase this one because it's probably the most popular one that he had, given it was for the Moulin Rouge. And now that there's been a movie, and like, you know, most people know what the Moulin Rouge is. So it's like, that's the one that most people would recognize. The rest are like advertisements for different products that were available during his time. And when I say he did the posters for the Moulin Rouge, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the original cabaret back in in the late 1800s. In fact, this poster is circa 1889, and so it was really a cool display that they had, not just of this poster, but of other things that he did advertising for. The two photos that I have here that have all of the writing on them, one is about the artist himself. He was born in like 1836, and he died in 1932. So we know that the lithographs or the advertisements are really old. And the other one is about the specific poster that he did for the Moulin Rouge. And these were like posters that they would have put up on walls in the city to advertise the different products. So kind of like we have billboards, I guess. But I thought it was really cool, and so I definitely wanted to document that. I really find those kinds of things interesting, especially when it is art that is something that has been used for a different purpose. So it was art created for advertising, not just art created for the simple enjoyment of art, as you will. So hopefully that makes sense. I am popping all of these fussy cut flowers up onto foam, so they are all going to have some dimension to them, which might seem like a little bit of overkill, but I really, really love the way that it looks, and so that makes me pretty happy. For no other reason than that it makes me happy. I like that it gives added dimension, and I think it gives added interest to the page. I'm just setting my acrylic block on there to kind of give a little bit of pressure to it while the liquid glue sets up. Sometimes the paper underneath likes to buckle a little bit just because it is liquid. It doesn't stay buckled, but sometimes it'll like cup and then pull away from the piece that I'm gluing down, if that makes any sense. But putting my acrylic block on there just kind of holds everything firm and in place. Now I am trimming down these pieces, and I am actually just sticking the white border back on it, which I know seems kind of like a cheat, but rather than backing the whole thing with white paper, I just trimmed off the piece that I didn't need and tucked it under, and I have my white border back. And I don't do that very often, but I do have all of these in digital format, so I don't feel like it's, these are not like my cherished family photos. And even if it was, if you pulled that photo off of there and it didn't come with its white border, it's not a big deal. So I can always cut the top and the bottom white border off. But it just saves me a little bit of time, and I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm liking the way that this looks a lot better. The branding strip that is on the left-hand side there was the branding strip that came off of this paper, I believe. So I'm just reusing it and sticking it on the other side. It just happened to be on my desk, and I was like, that's just sitting there. I think I'll just go ahead and stick that on the complete opposite side. And I am going to rub a little bit of the abandoned coral over on to the bottom here and tuck another little flower in there. That little piece was a piece that I cut off of the opposite edge, and so I'm just going to rub that onto the paper. It's the piece that was on the bottom rose that is now at the very top. I say the bottom rose. It was the bottom rose when the paper was rotated. It is now on the top of the page, and so I'm just rubbing that on there. I know it's not a full rose and you can't see it, but I am going to put a different rose right over the top. And so it kind of has that same look as the opposite side of the page. Bringing in that ink and that hazy like glow of the ink. And here you can see where the Always New is going to sit, and it's going to be a flip flap. So now you can see easily where the other writing is on the back of the piece that says Always New. And while I go ahead and figure out these butterflies, I just want to remind you that MK probably has another layout for you today as well, even though it's not our regular day of posting. But you should go and check out her channel just in case, because she has been posting, I think, just as frequently as I have. So go and check out what she's got going on today. And if you missed anything earlier in the week, those videos are still available and will be available, till the end of time. Pretty much. But if you did miss anything from Kit Conspiracy, you can just go to my playlist on my channel for Kit Conspiracy. And then you will be able to find anything that we've done in the series so far, not just from this month, but from past months. Well, anything I've done. I don't have her videos in my playlist, but I'm guessing she probably has a playlist of her own on her channel. So you can go and check that out there. And if you want to be notified of any upcoming videos for this series or any other videos that I do, if you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification down below, or the bell down below, it will give you notifications every time I post a new video. So that is something that you might consider doing if you want to see more from me and you haven't already done that. So I did fussy cut out a couple of those butterflies. I almost said flowers. They're butterflies, not flowers. And then one of them is a rub-on, and I rubbed it onto some white paper and created my own little butterfly. I fussy cut it out and used it that way because it was just the right size. Some of the other ones were a little bit bigger, and this one just worked really well. I am adding a little bit more ink down here because I want that glow of abandoned coral ink around it, and now I'm popping that flower up onto some foam tape as well. I am cutting the white edge off of some of it, or from the portion of white edge that was showing, just so that it is not visible anymore. And I am liking the way that that looks, and I like that it brings those flowers over to the opposite side. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive, oh my goodness, I'm so used to saying Deluxe Adhesive. Some Nuvo Sparkle Spray down by that flower, more Marine Mist, and Tender Peach. Those are the names of the two colors. I will put links down below for these products in case that you are interested in purchasing them. They are affiliate links, so I do get a little bit of money back if you decide to go ahead and purchase them. There is no commitment from you, and it doesn't cost you a thing to do it, but I do appreciate it if you do choose to use my link. Now I'm using some sequins. These are, I don't even know where I got these. They have just been around for ages, but I'm using some turquoise ones just to bring in some additional color. And then I have some pinkish red ones that I'm going to use to bring in some more sparkle. And again, these ones, I think I might have gotten both of these at a crop, and somebody was giving away some as a table gift, because they are definitely not from a company that I am aware of. There is no label or anything on them, and they've been in my stash for quite some time. So I'm just adding a little bit more of that, and then I think I'm pretty much done, you guys. So I will be back again tomorrow with another video. It is our regular posting day, and you can come and check that out. That is my completed layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing a different way to use some of this 49th and Market paper. Even though it is beautiful as it comes, you can definitely do some other beautiful things with it as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Don't forget to go check out what MK's got for you. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving week.